I thought I was moving to Vancouver for 6 months tops. And that's only because the script was so great. And I knew that the first few episodes were going to be so great that it was for sure to get canceled. Because usually everything that's so good ends up not going very far. At least that's been my experience. So I knew that I was a part of something special, but I didn't know how successful it was going to be until the second episode aired. And then we got the back 9, and that's when I thought, okay, this is going to go for at least 7 years. I'm going to miss our entire crew and cast. I'm going to miss Kai, who dresses me, and Cam, who wires me, and Chris, who does my makeup, and Deb, who does my hair, and I'm going to miss all those faces that I've seen every morning and every night. I'm going to miss playing Regina, Ronnie, Evil Queen, in all versions of her, getting dressed up, playing with Eduardo in the wardrobe department. I'm going to miss the chaos that happens on a day-to-day basis that people don't get to see, but there's so much that happens behind the scenes. I'm going to miss that. It's emotional. I mean, it's very emotional. I think there's a part of me that's in denial as well. You know, all good things come to an end at some point, but you wish that it didn't. So it's hard. I'm just really trying to savor every moment and hug the people I love deeply and spend as much time with them as possible and be here as much as I possibly can, even when I'm not working that day or in the scene. I think the message of hope and family, love, and, you know, that good can come from broken, that's a really sort of hopeful message to put out there in the world. A lot of people feel broken, and a lot of our characters are broken, and that's what makes, you know, human complexities so interesting. I think that really resonates with people. The friendships, the relationships, being magical is fun, that fantastical sort of life, and you can escape when you watch our show.
The past couple of days have been like a dream world high school reunion where half of the people are people I know so intimately, so well, and love so much, and then half the faces are brand new, and I'm sure equally would equally become dear friends, but are full of the newness that is the new life of Once Upon a Time. So it's been wild. It's also been a much more emotional couple of days than I expected. You never know it's going to be a phenomenon. I knew it would be excellent. The pilot script was that good. And I believed in the boys, of whom I'd already been fans, the boys being the creators, that much. And then the cast that they assembled and stepping onto set and working with Mark Mylod, who directed the pilot, I knew that it was going to be extremely special. But you never know what's going to hit with audiences. When I saw the trailer all edited together, I knew that we were probably going to find more people like me out there that would be addicted to the show. And the deciding factor for me in signing on was I would regret if I didn't. I knew that I would be a oncer and that I would kick myself forever if I weren't part of it. I think there's so much about the show that resonates. These characters are ironically really real. For being fairy tale characters, they're a mess. And they change and they grow and they make huge mistakes. But they're always given second chances and third chances and fourth chances. And that's all of us. We all find ourselves in 1 or 2 or 15 characters in this show. And these characters lead extraordinary lives full of magic, and it might be a form of magic that we don't necessarily see in our real world, but there are all kinds of magics all around us. And I think that the show really tapped into hope, and it really tapped into those chances. To me, the finale is the quintessential Once Upon a Time episode. And it's very nostalgic, which I think is part of why I've been so weepy since we've been filming it. And I believe that we achieve the show's overall objective.
Once Upon a Time for me will always be a great thrill in my life that I'm forever grateful for, and forever grateful for this character. And to be able to come back and see the gang and get the band together one last time to play one last song is so exciting. And it feels good. It feels like coming home. I had no idea Once Upon a Time would turn into what it has. I don't think you ever go into any project thinking that it's going to be something like it's become. I would just never be that presumptuous about something. But I knew that I loved it, and I knew that everybody that was on it loved it. And I think what we did was try to tell the story the best way that we could. And it hit. It resonated with people, and I've been so grateful for the fandom of Once Upon a Time, Oncers, because they're so passionate. They're so willing to go along on the ride with us, and that's been the best of all. I knew the moment the show was hitting with people that it was catching on when we turned up at an event and there was somebody dressed like me. I knew immediately that, oh, we're onto something. I think the reason that Once resonated with people and the reason why it's become what it's become is because the overall story and theme is hope. And everybody needs hope. Everybody wants a second chance or wants to know that a second chance is possible. And Once offers that. And it shows you that that is possible, depending on the choices that you make. It is, in true Once Upon a Time fashion, the final series finale of Once Upon a Time is in keeping with what it's always been, and that's adventurous, exciting, emotional, and it sends a message not only to us as characters, but to our fans that we love them. And it's a great farewell.
It's a fairy tale. You know, it's a dream come true. Like you're part of reading these stories. When I was young, it was one of the first things that I ever did. I didn't even have television growing up. So for me, it was one of the first forms of entertainment that I had. So to be asked to audition even was a big deal. And then to actually be a part of the show has been just a great journey. And it's, you know, every part of it has been a discovery of something brand new, and it's been magical. It's a show that's been loved for 6 seasons, and to come in the final season and think like, okay, maybe this could go in a different direction, and maybe this is a different story. And it's been a really incredible journey to be able to take a character and take it three-dimensional and all the way through. You know, it's bittersweet because, you know, coming in, you're part of a season that didn't really have to do too much with any of the other seasons. So especially the season finale has felt like a really big family reunion. And so if you've ever been joined to be a part of a family that has existed before you, you just come in and to the final supper and you meet everybody that you haven't met. And it's been really, really great. I feel like it's one of the best episodes that we filmed, not because individually the characters have gone through a whole course of their journey, but also because you're really getting to know these characters that you've grown to love by watching all the episodes from season 1 to season 7.
It's been incredible, and it's something that didn't really hit home until we went to Storybrooke last week, or this week rather, and to see all of the old kind of cast and to meet them. Pinocchio, Archie, all of these people has been incredible. And seeing Storybrooke in its prime, so you've got Gold's Pawn Shop, and you've got all of those kind of iconic places, and seeing the fans as well being there in their hordes and going, okay, so this place is kind of a big deal, and you understand why. Just being there, you get a sense of the history of the place. I don't think you're ever too old for fairy tales, ever. I don't think you grow out of that, and you shouldn't. There's something in every single fairy tale that is relatable, and it's timeless, and it's universal. So I think that's what people take away from fairy tales, and what they take away from Once Upon a Time is that anyone can be a princess, anyone can be a villain, anyone can be good witch, bad witch, anything like that. So there's parts of all of these characters in every single person, which is super cool. It's been really happy. It feels like it feels kind of bittersweet. It feels like everybody is acknowledging that it's coming to an end. They're sad to see it come to an end, but there's something really joyous about it, especially with these old characters returning, and it's like family is coming back together, and that's really infectious. That energy of kind of love. It's feeling like a week of love, actually. And yes, we're new. Kind of season 7, we're new. But it feels like we're still part of the family.
Well, for me, it's actually interesting because Once Upon a Time has kind of been a part of my life for a while. My sister was in season 2. She played Grace, the Mad Hatter's daughter. So I've kind of, watched the show, followed the show because she was a part of it. And when I got the audition for this, initially I had no idea what my character was. They were dummy sides. I didn't know what I was doing. And then to find out that my character was actually, a pretty big character, and to play Zelina's daughter was like, and to play, female Robin Hood's daughter, I was just blown away and like so happy to be a part of something that was been on for so long and so great. I think what makes it so special is it's something that, anybody can find something in it to relate to. Anybody can find something in it to inspire them, that you can watch it with your families, you can watch it alone, and it's one of those shows that it is always inspiring and optimistic, but it's also it's honest. It's, there is loss and there is heartbreak, but it shows you that new people come into your life and teach you new things and show you new things. And I think that's what makes it so beautiful and so special and unique for a show. Running through my mind is how sad I am that it's over, and that, I came in midway through this season and I'm like, no, it's not enough. But shooting this last episode with some of the people who were in the pilot is just like ridiculous. It's so cool. It's so exciting. I never would have thought that I would be here in the very final episode of such an iconic show with all of the iconic characters. It's kind of a little surreal for me. I'm still pinching myself.
Well, I've been watching the show since I was 5 years old, so I kind of grew up with the show, and when I got the audition, I was really psyched. The show has been amazing. It has been just... Everyone in the show is so nice, so kind, and they automatically open up to you as if you were on the show for, the past 6 years. So being on the show has meant a lot to me. It gives them hope, and it gives them love, and it lets them slip away from the real world, and into a world of imagination where your imagination runs loose. You can imagine anything you want, and it's there in a second, and it just makes you feel as if you were actually involved, and if you were actually a character that was living through.